Okay, imagine for a second that you're sitting on a hidden pile of cash right now, and you don't even know it. We're talking about a forgotten utility refund, an uncashed paycheck from a couple of years ago, or maybe an old bank account you just completely lost track of. What if I told you that tracking down this missing money is 100% free and literally only takes a few minutes? Let's dive right into this explainer and uncover a modern treasure map that could lead you to some unexpected financial gains right here in Tennessee. I promise you, by the time we're done here, you're going to be rushing to check if there's a surprise windfall waiting for you. We're mapping this out in 5 quick steps today: the missing money hook, Unclaimed Property 101, a step-by-step search guide, the claiming process, and finally, success stories and resources. All right, section 1, the missing money hook. The sheer scale of this is honestly just wild. We're literally talking about over $1.2 billion, yes, billion with a B, just sitting there, waiting to be claimed in Tennessee right now. This money is tucked safely away in state vaults, held in trust by the Tennessee Department of Treasury, just waiting for the rightful owners to step up and claim it. It sounds like a crazy, almost unbelievable number, right? But here's where it gets deeply personal. 1 in 10 Americans has unclaimed property. With odds like that, we absolutely have to ask, could a piece of that billion-dollar pie belong to you? Or maybe a parent or a grandparent? It happens way more often than you think. Let's jump to section 2, Unclaimed Property 101. So what exactly is this stuff? Well, when a business owes you money, say a credit union, the electric company, or a former employer, but they can't track you down for a specific dormancy period, which is usually about 1 to 3 years, they can't just pocket the cash. State escheatment laws step in and mandate that they hand those assets over to the Tennessee Treasury for safekeeping. Basically, the state acts as a custodian until you claim what's yours. Unclaimed property generally falls into 2 big buckets. You've got your intangible property, which is the super common stuff: uncashed payroll checks, forgotten savings accounts, overpayment credits, rental deposit refunds, and insurance payouts. Then you have tangible property, which refers to physical items, mostly the contents of abandoned safe deposit boxes. Think about it. Imagine you moved apartments a few years ago and totally forgot to give the landlord your forwarding address for that deposit refund. Boom, that money eventually becomes unclaimed property. Moving right along to section 3, our step-by-step search guide. Now, the Tennessee Department of Treasury has actually made this incredibly easy with a user-friendly portal. You just head over to the official, completely free state website, claimittn.gov. To kick things off, you just enter your last name or your business name. And if you have a pretty common name, you can easily narrow the results down by throwing in your first name, your city, or your zip code. Now, here is a massive pro tip that'll separate the novices from the pros. Remember, these assets are indexed based on whatever information the reporting business gave the state, which honestly is sometimes outdated or just flat out wrong. So you've got to search for previous residential or business addresses, check for maiden names, and most importantly, search for frequent misspellings of your name. If your old boss misspelled your last name by just 1 letter on a final paycheck, it's sitting in that database under that exact typo. Checking for these pitfalls is absolutely crucial to maximizing your search. Which brings us to section 4, the claiming process. The online interface makes grabbing your money a total breeze. Once you spot your asset in the search results, you just select it and click Continue to File Claim. The portal walks you through establishing your relationship to the asset, like if you're the original owner, an heir, or repping a business. Once you finish that initial step, the system generates a unique claim ID. Whatever you do, save that number. You are definitely going to need that claim ID later for tracking your status and uploading your documents. Obviously, to protect consumers and prevent fraud, the state needs proof that you are who you say you are. Generally, you're going to need 3 things: proof of identity, like a driver's license, proof of your social security number, like an old tax doc, and some kind of address proof, like a utility bill or bank statement, that ties you to the address associated with the original missing funds. To keep this whole process completely frictionless, the Treasury has a secure document upload page. But there are a few technical hurdles you need to clear so the system doesn't reject your files. Make sure they are standard formats like PDF or JPG, under 10 megabytes each, and keep the file name simple, under 100 characters, using just letters, numbers, dashes, and underscores. Oh, and no password-protected PDFs. And remember, you'll need to punch in that claim ID we just talked about, so the system can link your documents straight to your specific file. Now, I know exactly what you might be thinking. Great, I'm going to submit this into a government black hole and hear back in a year. Actually, no. For a bit of great news on timelines, About 70% of claims are successfully verified and paid out within just 2 weeks on average. It's a highly optimized, completely digital system. Let's wrap things up with Section 5, Success Stories and Resources. This system is basically a well-oiled machine. Just look at these recent numbers from fiscal year 2025. The division returned a record $125 million to rightful owners and heirs. They processed an unprecedented 168,000 claims, which is actually more than double the number they paid out the previous year. And the crazy thing is, the pool of money is constantly refreshing. Businesses recently turned over an additional $248.6 million. Whether it's a $50 utility refund or a massive forgotten insurance payout, these are real windfalls changing the days of everyday Tennesseans. And that brings up a great piece of advice perfectly captured by State Treasurer David H. Lillard, Jr. He says, "I encourage all Tennesseans to search their names each year, even if you've checked before. Seriously, don't just do this once and forget about it. Make it an annual financial habit, just like doing your taxes or checking your credit report, because new unclaimed property gets reported every single year." Quick warning before you start digging around, you might actually be contacted by third-party locators offering to recover your missing money for a fee. Now, while it is legal for licensed private investigators to do this in Tennessee, you absolutely do not need to pay a fee to claim your own money. The official state service at claimittn.gov is 100% free. Why give away a cut of your found treasure when you can just grab it yourself at no cost? So, how do we stay vigilant for the future? Keep searching that site annually. Keep a close eye on your physical mail, too, because the state actively mails out tens of thousands of notification letters to last known addresses. And here's a huge tip. If you've ever lived, worked, or done business in another state, you definitely need to check those states, too. The Tennessee portal smartly points you over to missingmoney.com, which is a massive national database that lets you search across all participating states and provinces. As we finish up this explainer, just a quick reminder to always consult the official Treasury resources. Everything we've covered today is based on current processes, and bureaucracy being what it is, procedures are naturally subject to change. If you run into a super complex situation, maybe dealing with an estate or a tough heir situation, checking the official website or chatting with a legal expert is definitely the way to go. So, we come back to the big question. Knowing that over $1 billion is sitting in state vaults and knowing that 1 in 10 people have a claim waiting, why haven't you checked yet? Jump online, punch in your name, and see what modern treasure belongs to your family. Thanks for joining me, and happy hunting.